Well, hey everybody, I hope you are having a great Friday. I know so many of you are getting ready to gear up for the beginning of your school year, or maybe you already have, and I wanted to give you one idea that I think will make it so much easier to launch for those of you who are starting for the first time, and even for those of you who have done this before. This might be a way to launch that you hadn't thought of that could actually make things go a little more easily for you this year than maybe they have in the future or in the past. So if you are not yet receiving homeschool hacks and encouragement in your email, then make sure you go to goodschooling.net, scroll to the bottom, put in your email address so that you are getting consistent encouragement on this homeschool adventure. So this is my big thing lately, is this whole idea of less is more, right? I talk about it all the time on the page. I talk about it all the time in my lives. And there's one specific point of that that really is important here at the beginning of the year. And that is the idea of starting slow. Okay, I know we all get super excited, especially those of us who love all the stuff and the curriculum and the schedules and the type A types. Okay, I know that you guys feel me, right? And if you've got kids that are like this too, then they're probably kind of champing at the bit and going, all right, let's get going, let's get going. And there is this temptation to start on day one with the pedal to the metal, doing everything that you had planned, and when I say everything planned, I mean every bit of curriculum is coming into play that day. You're doing every single subject, you're doing every imaginable thing. And what ends up happening is that you don't really leave yourself a lot of space for that transition from lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer into homeschooling. And all of a sudden, you've been going from what's probably either been a mile a minute summer, if it's been anything like ours, or it's been super low key. And then all of a sudden, you're jumping into this school year that's full of all this stuff, right? And so you either have no downtime going from crazy summer to crazy school year, or it's this 0 to 60 thing where you were going nice and easy and then all of a sudden you're going crazy, right? So if you have been kind of making your plans, right, for the way you're going to start your year, if you haven't started yet, this is what I would like to recommend, okay? I would like to recommend that if you have multiple kids, that first of all, you consider launching them individually, which I know feels kind of weird, sounds kind of weird. Maybe have a first, a kind of a first day of school day together where you all do something together. Maybe you make a special breakfast and you do your pictures and go on a field trip, go somewhere that you've kind of been putting off going to because there's all these other kids there, right? And now that they're back in school, you can go and you don't have a crowd, okay? So maybe have that be your first day of school, doing something super fun, super easy, super low key that doesn't involve your curriculum. And then from there, launch each child into their curriculum individually. Have a very basic, easy, kind of fun plan for the kids that you're not launching. And then for the kid that you are launching, start them off with 2 subjects. Super slow, super easy. Do them for a day. And then the next kid, the next day, just 2 subjects, math and reading, something like that, right? Make sure one of them is their favorite subject. And then launch the next kid, okay? For however many kids you have, just each day launch another one, okay? You're like, why on earth would I do this? Is this not making more work for myself because now everybody's in a different place? Okay, don't launch them with stuff that you're going to do with everybody. Okay, so if you're one of those families where all your kids do history together and science together and Bible together and whatever, save those. Don't start with those yet. Start those kids on the things that are going to be specific to them. So chances are they each are kind of doing their own math thing, maybe doing their own reading thing, whatever it is. Look for something, and maybe it's only one subject. Maybe they only do math by themselves. Okay, start them off just with math. And take a day to give each kid their own launch. Okay, this does 2 things. First of all, it gives each kid their own special time with you, which when you have a bigger family, those of you who are homeschooling multiple kids, that can be hard to come by, right? And so it gives them an opportunity to get to do their own special thing just with you. It's their launch day. Everybody else can go do something else, right? But they get to launch with you. The other thing that this does is this gives you an opportunity to kind of talk one-on-one with that child about what's going to come this year. And if you haven't yet kind of sat down to talk with them about what they're hoping to study or what they want to learn or some ideas that they have for the year or what field trips they want to do or whatever, it kind of gives you that opportunity as well. You can kind of make that day their own special first day of school where you really focus on them, finding out what their thoughts are about the year, tackling whatever that first subject is, making sure they've got all their stuff, maybe getting their feedback on what do you think our schedule should be like, okay, whatever. But when you take that time, okay, it also gives those kids the opportunity to, kind of get back into the school year without the craziness of everybody trying to do it all together. So that's my first recommendation. Launch your kids separately, just one each day until you got them all launched, okay? Then, once you've got everybody launched, still do not start all of a sudden going from that to, okay, all of our subjects, here we go, okay? Let's say you launched everybody with math, okay, and it took you 3 days. Then on day 4, have everybody do their math and add like 1 or maybe 2 other subjects. Just kind of ease those in there, right? Taking a step up. Okay, so y'all know what you're doing in your math. We all did. You've all done at least one lesson. You've all kind of gotten a start. So now, today, we're also going to add this and maybe this, okay? You're making school ramp up slowly. Instead of going from this 0 to 60 thing that can be kind of jarring, okay, particularly if you have, kids who are not always super excited about the whole school thing, right? It can make it a little easier to ease into the year, or for kids for whom, they're maybe slower workers and they maybe are not as organized, and it gives them an easier start to managing everything. Okay, figuring I got to get up at this time. We're all going to have breakfast together at this time, so I've got to get up and I got to have my clothes on, unless you're a pajama homeschooler like many of us are, or my bed made or whatever it is, right? It gives everybody that time to kind of get used to, oh yeah, this school thing, I remember this, and get into that rhythm without feeling like you're launching in day 1, trying to get everything done and get all this stuff checked off your list. And oh my gosh, it took us like 6 hours to do 3 things. Why did it take so long? Just ease in, right? Because thing number 3, you do not want your schedule to rule you, right? You are the boss of your homeschool, and you do not want your homeschool curriculum telling you what to do. So if you have been hauling out all of the curriculum schedules, right? Like your math comes with this, week 1 do this, week 2 do this, and your grammar program has another schedule, and this program has this, and you've had all of these schedules and you're trying to like shuffle them in together into whatever it is that you're going to do every day. And you're realizing, oh my gosh, this is a lot of stuff. What ends up happening is you become a slave to all those schedules and you're letting your curriculum be the boss of your homeschool. You are the boss of your homeschool. As I say all the time, you, not the schedules, not the curriculum. And if you just take all of those schedules, right, like stack them up and throw them away, okay, you are going to feel so much better because you're not going to have those things kind of looming in the back, making you feel like you're somehow behind, okay? Here's the thing you need to remember. You do not have to finish your curriculum by the end of the year. I did a whole series back in May of videos about all the reasons why you do not have to finish your curriculum. And if you start the year letting your curriculum schedule tell you what you should be doing every day, instead of being responsive to your kids and paying more attention to everyone's moods and to the energy of the day and to just kind of the flow of how things are going, and even the weather, as we all know, can have quite the impact on, everybody's willingness to work and their ability to focus. And if you are instead focusing on all these checklists and letting curriculum say, hey, you need to do all of this today, or else if you don't, you're going to be off schedule and then you're never going to finish in time. You're never going to finish by the end of the year. Then that is going to affect your entire year. If you start off your year that way, you're just going to be frustrated from here until May. So instead, throw the schedules away that came with your curriculum. Just get it out. Don't worry about it. And remind yourself every day, it does not matter if we finish this curriculum by the end of the year. That is irrelevant because our curriculum does not decide when we move. We move forward when the kids are ready to move forward. And if that means that we're going to stay on this one concept for a week, even though the curriculum said to move on after day 2, we're going to stay on for a week. It doesn't matter. So if you've been stressing about that first day because you've looked at your planner of all the things you want to try to get done that first day and you're like, snap, that's a lot of stuff for a first day, right? Take it off. You don't have to do that. Erase like crazy. Don't plan a whole bunch of stuff for your first week, okay? Maybe even your second week. Ramp up slowly, particularly those of you for whom this is your first year. Do not bow to that pressure of we have to do all the things every day. You don't. There is no state that says you have to study every single thing every single day. Even the strictest states, you've got at least some leeway there, okay? So launch your kids separately. Ramp up slowly. Add in a new subject once every few days. Get that new system, that new method, that new whatever under your belt, and then add in another day. Get comfortable with that. Add in another next day, okay? And ignore the schedules because the schedules know nothing about you and your family or you and your kids, and they're just going to stress you out unnecessarily. All right. I hope that you have a fantastic year. I can't wait to see how things are going for everyone. I would love to hear if you are getting ready to start your homeschool on Monday. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've already started or if you are planning to start and kind of maybe what your first week of classes are going to look like, what that's going to mean for your family. So I will talk to you guys again later. Have a great weekend. Talk again soon. Take care. Bye.